What's up, everybody? This is Rob Shack. So this is video number what? What is it? One, two, three, four. Video four in my series where I am playing as going through different games, giving ideas for things that I want to see if people like. This will be option number four, which is me playing through Dynasty Warriors 5 Extreme mode. I did 4, 2 days ago? So we'll do 5 today and see how we do here. Thank you all so much for watching. Help me get to 1,000 subs. If you're new to the channel, what I'm doing is trying to figure out what is the best option for people and what things people are interested in watching. And this is one of them. So I enjoy this a lot. Okay, I don't really care about that. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. That's why I do this. Is I basically am taking my subscribers polls, see what people are interested in seeing, and then from there, I will choose what everyone wants, and we'll make a video on that. So yesterday's video was the Destiny mode. Today's video is the Extreme mode. I did 4 Extreme mode 2 days ago. It was a lot of fun to do that. But now we're going to move on and see what y'all think about if I do Dynasty Warriors 5 Extreme mode. They're slightly different in that in 4 you can get generals and troops, but in this game you only can get generals, and that's an interesting thing to me that they changed that. But yeah, so we're just going to go through this. I'll kind of narrate some stuff. Yeah, I have a character named Mento, but I think I misspelled it because that's a character from when I was like 15, so I don't think that's spelled right. I think it's spelled Miento, but I meant to write Mento, but I was, a kid, so it's whatever. It's what it is. So, but yeah, I made a character. I think apparently I managed to create a character general who managed to get a Zuo C card weapon off of a supply captain. That must be how I have this, because you can't have Zuo C as a general that you get a weapon from in this game. I mean, it'd be so easy, and everybody would always pick Zuo C 100% of the time, because Zuo C's Dynasty Warriors 5 moveset is like the best thing in the game, and the best thing in like almost any game in the Dynasty Warriors franchise. The Zuo C's moveset is just so good. So, yeah. I'm going to just keep doing the same move over and over and over again off screen, because I didn't want the village elder to get destroyed, which it looks like he's not going to, because I just got here and started making my way through. The peasants in this game are like just regular privates, which is kind of interesting, but it's fine. And we had a blacksmith, so we automatically got our second item, which is pretty dang great. Uh-oh. Well, he just really hurt all of us. It's kind of obliterating me right now. And this train is making so much noise. Please. Can y'all hear that? Y'all probably can hear that. Wow, that was the loudest train. He's still honking. There's nothing there. He's just doing it. I think he's just showing off. Although, if I had a train, I would probably do that too. So, we just did it. We rescued a Mento, but I think it's spelled Miento. Let me actually look at that, because I think it's pretty stupid either way. Let's see. Oh no, it is Mento. Okay, I did it right. It's good. So now, we will go straight forward. I'm assuming this stuff is just, yeah, it's Dongzhuo stuff, so I'm just going to keep on moving. I want to see what Gan Ning is wanting. He's just standing there by himself, and he doesn't have any troops. So I'll go see what he's doing. What's he after? What's his thing? Usually when a unique officer is chilling on the map alone, they have something they want you to do. He might say to go get the supply captain. There is the General Kelsey, which was just somebody I knew in middle school, was... it's funny to go back and play old games, because you see what you were thinking about. So apparently had some crushes when I was in middle school. But yeah, so Oh, and then the story behind Amento is that was my gamer tag when I was on Xbox Live when I was in high school, was a Mentos rocket. So that's what that is, just to give context for why Amento is there. So he's got my attention. What does he want me to do? Yep, so he's one of the ones who wants me to pillage. It's interesting. I can 100% do that. I don't mind doing that at all. But yeah, this is when you're new. This task is one of the ones where the general gets mad at you for doing it. But I'm alone, and I'm a random wandering general here, so I don't feel bad about doing it on the first level. Eventually, I hope to be one of the generals who does a lot of good things. I mean, I did rescue a village just a second ago, so you know, take what you can get. But yeah, that's the Amentos is a Mentos rocket, which was my gamer tag a long time ago. I'm sure it's been stolen by now. Someone's probably got that. But yeah. So and then obviously people's names being just normal names are people I knew when I was in school. So yeah, I don't even know. I knew more than one Kelsey, so I don't even know which Kelsey that was in reference to. Who knows? But it's a generic enough name too. But yeah, so I will go through this. I'll kind of compare and contrast the Dynasty Warriors 4 version of Extreme Mode and 5 Extreme Legends. They're very different. Premise is still the exact same. Obviously, you just go through the whole world and destroy everything that you can if you have enough time, and that's it. So in this mode, in Dynasty Warriors 5, there's a lot more to do, but you can kind of customize your troops a little bit more in 4. I liked the idea of having troops, which I know in my playthrough a couple days ago from that, I actually didn't have any troops on my side. I didn't buy any yet, but you can. It's cool when that happens, because see, like right now, I'm just a one-man general moving around the map, and the most I can ever do is have some generals on my side. A good thing about this game for sure is that you have reserves of generals, which is kind of cool. So you can get 6 generals in Dynasty Warriors 5 Extreme Legends. I do think that they overall improved on this mode, but also the item selection is a lot less in Dynasty Warriors 5. You only have like a couple options there, which I noticed. I actually forgot how few items you can actually get, and it seems like they're like kind of one make items. It's not like what it was in Dynasty Warriors 4, where you can get your attributes and your elementals and all that. Like, that doesn't seem to be a thing in this game. So I'm like, that's kind of interesting that they took some stuff away from the player. Not really sure what that's all about. I'm not super annoyed by that, again, because it's like, if they were trying to make decisions there, you know, you gotta make calls with what you're gonna do. And if having soldiers was too complicated, because they did add a lot of stuff. Like, you'll realize if we played through 5 over 4, 5 has way more to do on every level. Like, it becomes a choice. Like, you just kind of have to be like, all right, I got to make a decision here about which general to attack, which thing to do, which whatever to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just have to make a choice. And I think that's kind of cool that they did that, because obviously in 4, that's not quite the same. You know, in 4, it's more like you just move around and defeat generals. It's a little bit simpler, but again, they were working on it. So I'm not like bummed about. Again, I'm not bummed about any of that stuff. It's just things I've noticed. But I mean, obviously it works well. Let's get rid of her.
Wow. We'll meet again. Don't you worry.
Thanks for the help. Really angry.
Yeah, the crowd clearing ability of that third attack, where he just shoots beams. It's essentially the Muso for like Zhuge Liang or Sima Yi, but he just does it in all directions, and it's his third charge. It's really good. It's a really good attack, and it kind of is broken, and so there's no reason to not use it every second. It really helps for the beginning of the game too. So let's just get a bunch of stuff from this treasure. Ganning doesn't even... It's funny, Ganning like asks me to do this, but then he doesn't even come over here. He like doesn't benefit from it. He just wants me to do it, and then I do it, and then he doesn't even move like on the map. He just stays there. He doesn't even like advance towards here and then just stand here. Like they didn't even try to code that. They were just like, yeah, it's more for the player. I mean, obviously when you're starting out in the game, you're probably going to want to do that mission because you're going to want just some blacksmith points, because obviously the best thing about this game, which makes advancing your leveling up way faster compared to Dynasty Wars 4's, even though I like the experience mode of it, you don't get enough experience doing that in this game. So having it be linked to blacksmithing your weapon is really, really awesome. Like, that is such a creative idea, and it really works well. I think 5's version of this has a lot more to do, but it is really cool to... The levels in 4 are great, the music is great in 4. 4 has the charm of it. Again, I think that 5 and 4 are such similar games. The difference is just that 5 basically polished everything about 4. 4 had a few things that you just kind of assume are there. The big one being that when you're doing attacks and you're hitting somebody, you can actually move around and face them. Like, in 4 right now, like, I couldn't do what I'm doing right now. That doesn't work in 4. I always thought it did, but it doesn't work in 4. You can't just start swinging and then pivot your character. Only on the Muso can you do that in the earlier games. In 5, you can actually move the character around too, which is like, again, I just totally did not remember that. I thought that it was in 4 as well. So getting that in 4, or getting that in 5, really makes 5's gameplay way better. And then obviously, you know, the blacksmith is great in 5's Xtreme Legends. Way more to do on the map is also really great. Again, I'll go for the protecting people. Try not to only do bad things, because I did do something bad last time. Abilities will be increased. Add 5 minutes. And because I'm hurt already, I don't really care about the large dim sum. Eventually I'll care about that and actually start getting help. But right now I'm just like, I'm just going to keep getting items and stuff. So there's apparently a female. Okay, there she is. Everybody else is just kind of chilling. Guan Yu is here, so I'm assuming Guan Yu will have some sort of mission. I'll have to do something with that. Don't remember what his thing is when he's just like a generic officer. Maybe it's the thing. I think there's one where you like take a letter to somebody, stuff like that. So we'll see what it is. I'm very glad that there's bandits right here, because then I got to get a horse right off the bat. And then I can just Muso on the horse. And everything was Rosi. This is the thing about this game that's so great, is the movesets were they were improved a lot to be more AoE, but not to the point that they're so ridiculous. You know how in the later games, all the movesets are just like, it create a volcano and just blow up the earth and everything dies everywhere except for your allies somehow. The whole map explodes and everything just combusts and it's great. But then it gets a little old when it's that ridiculous. Like, this character, like, Dynasty Warriors 5 was the last time, in my opinion, that the game, like, was semi-challenging. Like, the later games, it just turns into, like, you literally do not care what, like, you don't have any, there's nothing challenging. Like, all the peons just kind of wait around. In this game, they actually still are, like, good. So, again, I don't know why they went with that. You know, obviously there was a balance there. And I think they just thought they struck it, and then they didn't, and then they just kept making the games even more outrageous and bombastic, and they did it, you know. They absolutely just like went all out in the later games. But to me, this is the last one that kind of still sort of tries to take itself seriously. And again, it's not that the other ones are not good. It's just like the games changed after the PS2 era. They became, I don't know what they really became, but the PS2 versions to me are just all the best. Like, I think the only game I like that's like genuinely liked that's not on the PlayStation 2 is all the Dynasty Warriors 8 games. The other games are fun, but I think Dynasty Warriors 8 is just by far the most complete game of all the... Dynasty Warriors 6 obviously has its massive beefs and massive problems. It really does, and it's pretty ugly how... see, now I remember. There's a unit down... I see it. I'll go down there and get it. There's a unit down in the middle of that little archway. It's hard to explain. There's a little blue dot that's just standing there. I remember you get a peasant and he gives you a letter and then you take it to Guan Yu. That's what it is. But anyway, so Dynasty Warriors 6 to me, like there's a lot of good stuff in Dynasty Warriors 6, but I feel like the enemies get too easy, and that's just something I have a problem with. I thought that she gets attacked. Maybe she doesn't. I don't know. I thought for sure she got threatened. I thought that was the whole point, where it says people are attacking and kidnapping women. I thought that was... What? Do I walk up to her and trigger it? Do I do this? Do I do this like a couple times? Let's just do this for a while and see what happens.
Hey, look at that.
There we go. Yes. Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure the bandit pops up.
You are not my enemy then. I am on my way right now to teach some bandits.
Anyway, so Dynasty Warriors 6 just has a lot of the challenge kind of removed. A lot of the game is very dumbed down too, like in a way that I don't think is okay. They just made the game so easy. And even in this game, the archers are a lot stupider. Like, I don't know if you noticed that they just stare blankly off in the one direction and then eventually realize, like, oh, I'm supposed to keep looking at you, and then I've already slashed them. So that's one area that they made it a little bit too easy, and then the AoE is there. But I think if I had to choose between 5 and 4, gameplay-wise, I would totally choose 5. I think 5 is a little bit more refined, a little bit more polished. Also, watch this. This dude talks to me in a very calm voice, says, "Excuse me, can you take this note to the general?" And then just falls over and dies. Doesn't retreat. He just falls to his death. What is that all about? Like, why? How come he didn't, say, please, take this to the general? It's like the lamest read of the line ever. Like, how come, try to sound even remotely interested in what you're saying, but he literally doesn't do that. It's almost like that wasn't supposed to be the dialogue, and then they were just like, oh crap, we're too far gone, we have to just go for it. Oh, is she just gonna run in there? Okay, no, she can't. That gate is locked. Haha, sucks. Anyway, I would rather her not go in there because she'd probably die immediately. So yeah, Dynasty Warriors 6 was good, but then yeah, they definitely dumbed down the gameplay, and all the Musos and all the attacks are ridiculous in that game. And also, the Muso is just more of the string of attacks, which is kind of what Samurai Warriors was, but Samurai Warriors wasn't only that. So that was kind of annoying. Also, Guan Yu is British. What's up with that? I don't get that. I don't think he was British on the original Dynasty Warriors 5, but randomly in Xtreme Legends, he's like, "Oh, you brought me this letter." You're like, what is that all about? Why are you talking like a British guy? You're in China, and it's also like a long time ago. And so like, what is that voice? Who cast a British guy from Koei? Who was like, you know what, we need a British dude. That's it. What are they doing? Anyway, besides the point, I'm getting off topic here a lot. It's fine. We'll talk about other things at some point. Dynasty Warriors 6 though definitely has a lot of simplicity to it, and also there's just it seems like the adjustment from PS2 to PS3 like really hurt Koei because did she just? Oh, she's gone. That's it. Well, we didn't rescue her. Well, we did rescue her, but she didn't make it. So I thought for sure she would live. Anyway, it's kind of a bummer. Anyway, so we will just keep going. It's fine. Apparently it was very important that I delivered that letter. I really shouldn't have done that. But if she was just going to go running in there like that, that's kind of dumb. I don't know why she thought that was a good idea, but she did, so it's fine. Yeah, so I think that Dynasty Warriors on the PS3, that was definitely the weak era, although in the PS4 era / Xbox One era. Dynasty Warriors 9 is absolute garbage. I literally hate that game so much. So I don't know what to say about Koei. I feel like they nailed it with the PS2, and then everything since then has been just either a struggle. Like 8 was the only good game for the PS3, and it was just because they finally got rid of the dang clone weapons. I don't know why they did that. Like, what were the clone weapons about? What was that? Like, they had clone weapons in Dynasty Warriors 2, and then they like brought them back again. So like that was freaking stupid. And now I know why she died. She was fighting a bandit leader. That explains a lot. I was wondering how come she lost so easily. But it seemed like that wouldn't, even then it still felt like he wasn't the one that was fighting her. But it's fine. So we'll liberate a general who's under this guy. I'm pretty sure a general pops up. Yeah. So, Dynasty Warriors 6, I keep starting this discussion about Dynasty Warriors 6, and I'm talking about the PS3 era of these games. So, the thing I thought about with Dynasty Warriors 6 was they did a good job of giving a story. They basically made Dynasty Warriors 6 like the Samurai Warriors games, where they, is he going to be on my side? He is. Alright, so we at least got somebody out of this. We didn't get Da Kiao. She got defeated. But we did acquire one guy. But, so yeah, with Dynasty Warriors 6, they basically made it like a Samurai Warriors game. I thought that was kind of weird, because they didn't have to do that. And I disagreed with that tremendously, because they already had the Samurai Warriors games. So, like, why did they even do that? I don't know. But then they dumbed down the combat to, like, literally pathetically bad. It's really bad in, Dynasty Warriors 6. It's just that Renbu thing, and then the Musou is literally just continual movement. Like, that's just like so boring to me. Like, why did they make it so boring? I don't know. I really don't know why they did that. Wait, I don't have enough gold for that. Wow. Okay. I need to get more gold. I thought I had a lot more gold than that. I really don't have a lot of gold. So, yeah, Dynasty Warriors 6 was just a weird conglomeration where they tried to merge two different game types, and I thought that was strange, and it didn't need to happen. And so that as a result, people really didn't jive well with Dynasty Warriors 6, because they literally removed characters. Like, just don't add characters. You don't have to remove characters. It was so weird. And then the gameplay was so easy. There was generals who just would stand there. Troops literally like would swing once. I mean, that come on, one swing. That's literally what they would do. They would just stand there and then go ha, and that was it. And then remember when in Dynasty Warriors 5 and all the PS2 Dynasty Warriors games where they had a moveset? Like, the troops had a moveset that some of the generals even had. So I'm like, you could have kept that. I don't know why they didn't do that. So, like, again, that's just that stuff where you hear about that and it's just a bummer, you know? That's basically it. What's he gonna want me to do?
Someone has stolen my favorite tiger.
Oh yeah, the tiger. LOL. We'll do that. I do need a horse. Pretty quick. Got some stuff to do on this one. But because I also want to go down there and rescue those people. But yeah, so I think they just took too much away from Dynasty Warriors 6 to make it worth it. And then, like, yeah, Empires was way better. Extreme Legends was good. They had that weird special mode that was like for the PS2 or something. And I don't really understand why they did that. Because then they added certain characters back to the game and gave them movesets again, even though that game was literally for the PS2. So I'm like, why did they do that is beyond me. But they did. It was strange, but they did it. So it was just Koei doing some weird stuff there. The Empires mode in 6 was really fantastic though. But yeah, again, the Renbu system was just not nearly as good. And like so simplified where you no longer had combos. You no longer, it didn't even matter what buttons you pushed, you always had the same combos. Like, that was so weird that they thought that was like a good idea. It's like, why did you remove that? I don't get why they thought that was a good idea, but they did. They thought it was going to be successful. They didn't see that being a problem. And then what's so funny is that then with 7, they barely improved that. Like 7, people were pissed again because they did the same thing where all the characters still had generic movesets. They just had an EX combo that was unique, and the Musos were unique again. As opposed to, that wasn't even the case on the other ones. Like, it's just weird how they did that. I don't understand their ideas with how they made their games with that, because 7 to me is just as similar. Oh my gosh, I thought I could pull that off. I love that he's like spinning that thing. He's like spinning his cards on that. That's how he does a clash. It's fantastic. So,
Hey, I defeated an officer.
let's get that defense. Let's get out of here. Zheng He is doing whatever he's doing. I'm just going to get on the horse and get out of here. Zheng He, I don't think, is going to really help me here. So let's see where the other tiger is. Okay, so it's down there. But yeah, in 7, they literally didn't even fix they barely fixed the big problem in the game, which was movesets were too similar. So they did the same, that was still a problem in Dynasty Warriors 7. Like, movesets were still exactly the same. You had multiple characters holding a sword, and they all had the same quick slash thing, and it was just the EX move. The EX move was even the same on most of the movesets. It was just, or not even, no, sorry, the button combination to do the EX move was still the same. It was just the EX move was slightly different. That's not that creative, in my opinion. Like, if you're going to try to be unique on it, you know, the Muso is not enough. Just making the Muso unique isn't good enough. Like, you've got to do a little bit more with it, and they just didn't. And so then, you know, you have 6 special. I don't think there was an Xtreme Legends for that game. There might have been, but it might have only been, maybe there was a 6 Xtreme. I don't think there was a 6 Xtreme Legends, but also everyone hated that game, so probably there was a 6 Xtreme Legends, but nobody liked it because everybody was mad about the gameplay in 6. And then you have you have 7 where they do almost the exact same problem. The same problem is basically happening again. You have a characters that have almost the exact same moveset, and it's really unfortunate because you're like, wait, really? They all do the same swing? Like, okay, I get that, like, the entire Sun family has a sword, and that their EX move is just slightly different, but I'm like, that's not good, okay? Like, I get that they're related, but, like, come on, make a little bit more of an effort there, and they totally did not do that. So that's, like, a huge bummer. They improved all the Extreme Legends and Empire stuff in those games. I mean, each game had more features, which was cool, but then it was weird how they literally added features but didn't add movesets. Like, that's strange. Like, even if they made the movesets back to Dynasty Warriors 3, where it's like, okay, basically one character's right-handed and one character's left-handed, which was like kind of what they did. They basically would make, like, Zhang Liao and Lu Meng had the same exact moveset. It was just flipped, and then the charge attacks were slightly different. That is better than nothing, you know? Like, they could have just done that, but they didn't do that. They didn't do anything. So it's just like this big, huge bummer the way that they went about the movesets from 6 and 7. They both were like that, and it was a really huge problem. And then 8 comes out. 8 fixes almost every single problem. Pretty much every problem, actually. All of the problems were fixed through 8. 8 was incredible in basically every way because they made every character have unique movesets by the end of it. That seemed to be their goal. They were trying to unify and make people not pissed, and they did a good job of that. And so then they have, you have Extreme Legends and you have Empires. I'm pretty sure Empires was an 8 as well. And then you also have Let's just keep this tiger with us. So you have... It's just so weird. Like, 8 fixed all the problems. 8 had everyone having unique weapons. Now, granted, some of the weapons were outrageous. I'm pretty sure one guy hits people with a boat in that game. So I'm like, that's weird. But, you know, it worked. It wasn't awful. It was different enough that people didn't hate it. Well, then there's other... I mean, of course, there's those stupid people who don't even play the Dynasty Warriors games who are like, it's not realistic and historical. And so I feel like then Koei just was like, well, you know, if they say that, then we'll just be lazy and have everybody have a generic spear and make nothing interesting anymore. And that's what happened. Like, they fixed all of their problems in the 6 and 7 with 8. 8 was better in every way. You had the Tails modes back. That was really cool. You know, 7 was interesting because you still had an emphasis on story, but it was more of the faction as a whole, but it was still unique for each general, I'm pretty sure. 8 had a level, but then the level was different depending on who you picked, which was really cool. That was a unique version of it. And there was the Tails. There was special bonus missions that if you did them right, you would get either special missions or you'd keep generals alive and that would impact battles later. That stuff was awesome. All right, come here, Tiger.
Oh, you found
There you go.
Thank you. My thanks.
So,
Accept this.
all of that to say, I think that 8 fixed basically everything that, you know, 6 was a disaster, but it wasn't all bad. 7 fixed a lot of what 6 did, but still kept the biggest problems. And then 8 came out and fixed all of 7's problems. So then it's like 8 was the only good game I would recommend. I mean, I'm going to still play through all... I'm asking for a lot of those games for birthdays and Christmas and stuff like that. So eventually I will get all the games that I have been talking about here and then like kind of show what I'm talking about. But like I played a lot of 6 and 7 and 8. And so I know what I'm like... I generally know what I'm talking about with those games. But I'll still play through them just to kind of show it. Because again, I like to be a YouTuber who kind of comments on stuff and then actually has it examples of it on the channel. I think that kind of helps prove my point. Some people like just play through the game and then they take clips and all that stuff. But I'm like, yeah, you know, what's really great is playing through the game with the fans and then reviewing it right there. It's just all easily accessible and good to go. So yeah, I think that's just kind of my thoughts on that. I don't know why I started talking about that. We're playing Dynasty Warriors 5 right now, but I think Dynasty Warriors 5 was the last like really, really good Dynasty Warriors game that was like not surrounded with tons of controversy. A large unknown weapon or uprisings. Unknown weapon, uprisings. I think I'll do the unknown weapon. I'm kind of curious about what that is. Also, you get a single health thing. Yeah, I still don't have a lot of money. I do need to just... What I need to do is just get a level... I just need to play one level where I make sure I get a... increases defense best used with the Tiger Orb. Okay, well then I'll wait and use that with the Tiger Orb. Sounds good. So Pei Wai Xiao is in that corner. These people are all just chilling. Okay. I am curious about this unknown weapon. I don't know what it is that I'm going to be finding here.
Please protect me until I reach my destination.
Ow. Let's go ahead and Muso and hope that we can knock that dude away. There he is. There's a lot of stuff going on the map right now, so I'm hoping that I can figure out where is the peasant who triggers the monster thing. I mean, unless they're literally just referring to these elephants on the map. 'Cause I'm like, that's kind of sad if that's what they were referring to. Like, come on. That can't be what y'all are talking about. Let's blast through all them. Just like that. Gotta love when they're lined up perfectly for that. But yeah, I think that if I had to make a decision of like what games people should play, I think I would lean just getting 5 or getting 8. Like if you had to choose, I mean, I think that all the other games still have stuff that's fun about them, and I wouldn't say that you should just literally say screw those games, I'm not playing them. I don't think that's how you should be. But I do think that there's a lot of mistakes that some of the games between those two do. There's a lot of mistakes. I think that's just something you have to know, but I think it is still worth it to try to get those games and play them. They're also really cheap because of the fact that does this guy have an officer? Let's just make sure real quick. No, he does not. Those games are probably cheaper than the ones that are obviously more well liked. I think people like 8 and stuff like that way more. So I think if you had to like get a game, I would still get the ones that are more well liked. But again, if you can't find those games, then yeah, you probably can just be fine with getting this is where the guy is, but no. So maybe it literally was just doing getting the it's the elephants. That's it. That's all that it meant. I thought that this was the one where you get the rare general who like comes in and he's like either it's like Lubu or like the monster elephant troop or the monster blah 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 general, and it's like someone who's really strong or something like that. I thought that was going to be what this is, but it seems like it's just not that. So now I'm going to just go running down here and get this one dude who's just chilling down here. And then from here, we'll go back up and finish this level out. It's good to have one that goes quick. I've had a lot of stuff to do on pretty much every level so far. So it's good to kind of have a quicker one if I had to make a decision on that. So, yeah. I just think that something happened there. And I'm not really sure what it was, but it just seemed like Koei had some problems with transitioning to the PlayStation 3 because it seemed like a lot of the things that they wanted to do, they just didn't do very well in this game, in those series. I mean, 8 fixed all of those problems, but again, it's like you had 7 Extreme Legends, 6 Empires, 7 Empires, and then you get to 8, and that's good. And then I think there was Strike Force in there. There's a lot of other weird games that came out from Koei during that time. So it's like you have all these weird games, but then they didn't go back to the thing that everybody liked. The replayability of a Dynasty Warriors game is either a good story where you want to know each person's story. It is replayable to that extreme. And I mean, again, it started in 5. 4 and 3 and 2 were just like play through the game with everybody. But because everybody's weapons were unique except for in 2, it was worth it to play through the game. There was not a lot of characters in 2, so it was kind of worth it to just gun out 2 real quick. That's what I did. But then with 3, it was everybody had a different weapon. Everybody had different Musos. Everybody had different starting positions. Everything like that. 4 was that, but also you could modify each of the levels by basically choosing which levels you wanted to do, and that would modify certain things. So you had a lot more replayability there, and the other factions also got Muso modes, which in 3 Extreme Legends they did, but that was not the base game of 3. So you have that. Then you have 5 was the first game that really fleshed out all the stories because every single character had like a unique cutscene, I think, and had a unique ending, which I don't think they did that in 4 either. They just had the like little singing thing where all the people would like sing and stuff, and it was kind of weird, but you know, it was still cool. And there was there was like 5 endings for the faction, which I'm like, okay, cool. 5 has an ending for everybody, and it's like, and cutscenes for everybody, and there's the little like dialogue in the game where the guy would like describe stuff. There was bases. 5 just cleans up everything from 4, but 5 didn't take anything away I don't think. The only thing I could think that doesn't improve is the music in 5, but like everything else is way better. And so with 6, then you have, okay, you have stories. They're really cool. You have graphics that look better. That's really cool. But then you have a drastic reduction in characters and movement and complexity. Not good. Not well liked. Not well received. And then 7, you have a depth of story for each faction, which is really good. Everybody was pumped about that. But then you also have some of the problems you have there are that movesets are still very, very similar. Like, it's about as close to clone that's not, but not technically clone, as you can possibly get. Everybody having the exact same moveset, but just slight differences, very, very slight differences, is like, you shouldn't be proud of that, you know? Like, you shouldn't be proud of barely modifying what was there before. It just doesn't seem like a really good idea. And they did. So it's just, yeah, I would say get 8. Get 8. If you have a PS4, get the complete edition. But if you don't, which I don't, like, you can just get 8 and 8 Extreme Legends. And I think 8 Empires, and those are all separate games. The complete edition just has everything in it, from what I know. I don't actually know for sure on that, but it seems like that's all that it does. I mean, saying a lot, because they put, I mean, 8 is a complete game even on its own, but they really just nailed it down by the end of with the complete edition, where you have Lu Bu in there and you have a story mode for him, and it's like the game is literally focused on Lu Bu, which is pretty freaking awesome. Like, they did some good stuff in 8. 8 was like back to the good times, but yeah. But then what's so funny is 9, they took it all away. I don't know why they did that. 9 was just a disaster because they literally took away everything. I don't know why they did it, but it's freaking annoying because they changed everything. So again, I don't know. So let's get one guy back on our side here. He really did not. He did not get much health back. I thought he would have a lot more health back than that, but he doesn't. I still don't have that much health. So let's do that. Ooh, let's do that too. Let's do both of those. Yeah, we can get all of it. Okay, good. So we are very incentivized. I think we even have more time. So this is literally perfect. We have more time, so we can destroy all the enemies on the map, get a lot of points, and get increases in attack for defeating enemies. So we are very incentivized this round specifically to destroy everything. Everything on the map, which we're going to try to do. Yeah, I'm going to help you, Wan Chao. You're not that big of a deal, dude. Kind of overrated. Not going to lie. But yeah, so 9 was so weird. 9 was a good idea. Executed horribly. And they should have just not named it 9. They should have just done a different thing. I mean, they did that with Strike Force. They were like, Dynasty Warriors Strike Force. So everyone's like, what is this? It was so wacky and zany, and it was fine because it ended up being fine. But yeah, just do that. I don't know why they didn't just do that. Again, 9 was strange. 8 had it. 8's it. 8's all you need right now. I don't know what 10's gonna look like. They're making an Empires, or they made an Empires. I don't even care. I'm not gonna get it. I have no reason. Why would anyone get that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have no reason to get the game like that. So that's just my thoughts on that. So we're gonna just keep moving on now. Keep defeating people. Just keep doing this attack because it's awesome, and especially because I got manacles, which lowers my abilities. So it's probably good that I have this. Oh, an ambush is here now. So who is this guy? Do you have any? You're just a random dude. Okay, that's fine. Now we're getting increases in attack. Oh heck yeah! So that's what's good about this. We're getting points and increases in attack for getting everybody. So we're gonna just go for enemies the whole time. That's it.
Hey, I defeated an officer.
And there we go. So now we'll just move into this giant group of red right here. There are no generals up there, so that's kind of weird. I mean, I might as well just weaken. If I go for all the troops, eventually I will either defeat the generals that those troops belong to, or lower the morale enough that those people should be fine. So that'll be what I'm gonna do. But yeah, so like, I definitely recommend playing 8. I will play through more of the original Dynasty Warriors games. I mean, again, that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm trying to figure out what people want. I've been asking for other games to get as well, because I do want to play through, you know, the games I just kind of commented negatively on, because I want to see what they did well. You know, obviously when you play through a game like that when you're 16, it's a lot different than when you're playing through it as someone who's over the age of 30, which I am. So like, I just want to see I want to see if there was stuff that was done better that I just forgot about because I was so focused on the negativity of 6 and 7. But I know 7 had an amazing track called Final Battle. That track was like freaking it. That's great. That track was so good. So remember that. But again, that's like all I remember about Dynasty Warrior 7 was the like Gene Dynasty stuff was kind of cool. But then I just felt like they didn't know what to do with that. They like started all this stuff in 6, because in 6 you end up playing as Sima Yi and then like taking over at the end. Like the Gene Dynasty essentially gets started, which is awesome. But then again, it wasn't done super well, because then you're like, wait, what? Because like I think he kills Cao Cao in the cutscene. Like you like wrap him up in like wire and then like that's it. Like Cao Cao's done, and you're like, wait. So that's it? Like Cao Cao just dies? Like how is that even, like, is that what? You know, it's just shocking. It's absolutely shocking. But it's awesome. But then again, they were teasing it for Dynasty Warriors 7 because that was what they were going to do in 7 was have the Gene Dynasty be a thing. All right, so is it defeat everybody or just defeat this guy? Okay, good. It's defeat everybody. So I can come through here and still wipe out everything here. But these are all things that I think are really cool about Dynasty Warriors. I do think it's really awesome that they started bringing in the Gene stuff, because that actually happened. Like in real life, Sima Yi's family won. Like they won the war. The Three Kingdoms era ended in victory for just Sima Yi. Nobody else. Like nobody else even came close. So when you think about it, yeah, Sima Yi won. Nobody else did. So like it's just fascinating that they added that in. And then I think if I don't know what I would have done. I mean, because even in the more recent games, the Gene Dynasty is not done very well. And I think part of the problem was that there's just not enough generals that they have being alive that are customized in that time period. Like there's just really not a lot of generals. They didn't take the time yet to like have a lot of people. So like if you do that, you have to add in generals. You know what I'm saying? Like it just needs to be a little bit more fleshed out. Because yeah, like I remember playing Dynasty Warriors, even 9, like I played through the game as some of the Gene characters and I was like, this is really boring, because it's just like we pushed forward, we pushed back, we pushed forward again, and we pushed back again. And that's the end of the story. Good job, everybody, or whatever. It's like, okay, that was really not that great. And again, I feel bad saying that because they're trying, but it's just, I don't know. I just think that they could have done more with it. And so having a new faction is a great idea. I think that's what I've started to realize about Dynasty Warriors games in recent years, is it's a bunch of fantastic ideas that are not done quite right. Just not right enough that everyone like kind of gets annoyed by it. And I think that's what the problem is. And I don't know what to tell them apart from like, just get it back. I mean, really one thing they could do is just remaster some of the classic games. That might be a way to help. But they just need to do more with... oh, the band chief is going that way? Okay, I need to go over there and help them. Okay. So where are we at here? Actually, no, I'm going to keep going to this direction. Wan Shao will be fine, I think. At least he'll hold long enough. The other guy is like completely surrounded and looks a little bit... Oh, he's going to die. There we go. He's dead. Well, again, that's a bummer, but I'm not super worried about it. I do think that Wan Shao will be fine. And I'm just trying to get rid of everything to get like 1,000,000 increases in attack, which is totally happening right now. And now we'll head this way and work on the Bandit Chiefs. There's 2 Bandit Chiefs, and I think that's actually everybody who's left. But anyway, yeah, I just... Ultimately, Koei has been trying to broaden it, which I'm grateful for them trying to do. But I think it just hasn't been done well. Okay, I hope I don't... Okay, good, it's just me. Everybody's dying on my side. And granted, I've already rescued, what's his name? I've already rescued Wan Shao, so I'm not like, again, if it says Sima Bu, which is me, can't die, and I haven't, and I don't plan on it, so I think I'm just going to be fine, and if Wan Shao dies, then that's fine. It'll be a heavy price paid, but that's fine. Let's see, what was that? Bandit Chief is coming back up. That dude just spawned in though. That actually is not the guy. That guy didn't defeat the other guy on our side or anything. He just spawned in. So I'm not like missing something there. But anyway, yeah. So like, I just think that I think that what happened with Koei was that they took the advice of critics who don't play the games. I think that's the problem. They took the advice of people who don't play these games and were like, oh, these games are super boring and super repetitive. I hate these games. And it's like, well, do you play them? And they're like, no. I put forth about 4 hours into this game. I'm like, that isn't time. Like, these games are more complex if you give them a shot. So, like, people, like, critiquing these games that don't play much of them, it's like, yeah, that's on you, man. Like, you're not putting forth the effort to enjoy this game, then I got nothing to say to you. And Koei shouldn't have listened to people who didn't like the games. You know, like people who are always going to critique these games are people who don't like hack and slash games. Like, you know how ridiculous it is that people who don't like hack and slashes were reviewing a hack and slash? Like, what is that all about? That should literally have never happened. But it totally was. They were just like listening to these people who had no idea what they were talking about. Like, of course a Koei game looks simple, because it kind of is, but it's still got elements to it that are fun. And if you don't want to give it a shot, then don't play it. And so I think that's what Koei did, was they went, oh no, we need to change our formula up because these critics are saying these games are boring. And so then they changed the games up too much to the point that then they ran out of time and then had to remove the key features that people liked about a Koei game, which was replayability, hack and slash, super exciting, super fun. Like, that's what people wanted to do in these games. And then they like literally couldn't do that anymore because the whole series got like messed up. And again, that's just my thoughts. I don't know if that's true or not, but I would say that it kind of is. I don't know. That's just what I think about these games, is they went way too far into the like, oh no, we have to like listen to these people who literally don't play Koei games and think hack and slash games are really boring. It's like, well, of course they're gonna think that's boring. They're not people who your fan base. They're not your fan base. Why is a person who's not your fan base reviewing these games, and why are you listening to them? Again, this has been the most random video of things I've talked about. Anyway, if you like this gameplay, we'll keep it going in another video. If not, then thanks for the feedback. These are going to be of the polls. These are things I've been interested in playing. If y'all like Dynasty Wars 5 Extreme Legends, then we'll do this. If you don't, then vote on one of the other ones and let me know what you like. But we just did it. We just captured this area. It was sick. We destroyed everything. We lost everything, which was fine. We rescued one shower earlier, and then we just lost everything. So, again, I'm not super concerned. But yeah, there we go. So thank you all for watching. I'll stop there. I got a ton of experience, ton of points, everything. I got the Tiger Orb, which was that item that works well with that other item. So that's kind of cool. But there we go. Thank you all for watching. Peace.